Stop scrolling, take a breath, and look at the change in your pocket, because one ordinary quarter could quietly be hiding a story worth millions. Most people see a quarter and think 25 cents, maybe enough for a parking meter, maybe something that disappears into a jar on the kitchen counter. But collectors know something very different. Sometimes a simple Washington quarter carries a hidden history, a minting mystery, and a value that could completely change someone's life. Today we are uncovering 4 Washington quarters that almost nobody notices. Coins from 1977, 1980, 1989, and 1998. Coins that pass through grocery stores, gas stations, and vending machines across the United States. Yet a few rare examples have stunned collectors and grading experts. Some of these coins contain minting anomalies. Some were preserved in extraordinary condition, and others became legendary after professional grading revealed their true rarity. Before the end of this video, you will understand why collectors obsess over these quarters, how grading companies like PCGs and NGC determine their worth, and why one small coin could turn ordinary pocket change into a collector's dream. And the first coin in this story begins in 1977 at the Denver Mint. Coin number 1, 1977 D Washington Quarter. The story of the 1977 D Washington Quarter begins in Denver, Colorado, inside the powerful machinery of the United States Mint. Millions of coins were struck that year, massive presses stamping the familiar profile of George Washington onto copper-nickel planches with incredible force, each strike producing another coin destined to travel across America. To the average American in 1977, a quarter was simply money. Something used for laundry machines, payphones, or arcade games, but collectors know that even in years with large mintages, extraordinary examples can appear. The 1977 D Washington Quarter carries the small d mint mark beneath the eagle on the reverse, identifying it as a coin struck at the Denver Mint, and while millions were produced, very few survived in flawless condition. Now here is where the story becomes interesting. Most coins immediately enter circulation, sliding through cash registers, scraping against other coins, slowly collecting scratches and wear. But occasionally a coin escapes that fate, preserved almost perfectly from the moment it leaves the mint. Collectors call these coins high-grade survivors. Professional grading companies like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guaranty Company examine coins under powerful magnification, studying tiny details like luster, strike quality, contact marks, and surface preservation. They assign grades on the Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70. And when a coin reaches the very top of that scale, collectors begin to pay attention. The 1977 D Quarter has specific physical characteristics that every collector should recognize. Its weight is approximately 5.67 grams, a standard measurement for modern clad quarters, composed of a copper core sandwiched between layers of copper-nickel alloy. Its diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, and its thickness is roughly 1.75 millimeters, dimensions that have remained consistent for Washington quarters for decades. But dimensions alone do not make a coin valuable. Condition does. Imagine a coin struck perfectly, brilliant mint luster flashing across the surface, the fine details of Washington's hair completely intact, the eagle on the reverse showing razor-sharp feathers, and almost no marks from contact with other coins. Coins like this are extremely rare. Even rarer are coins that might contain subtle mint errors, slightly misaligned dies, unusual strike pressure, or surfaces preserved in pristine condition for decades. And this is exactly where collectors begin searching. Across the United States, serious numismatists still inspect rolls of quarters, bank-wrapped coin rolls, and old collections inherited from family members, hoping to find one extraordinary example hiding among ordinary coins. Because sometimes, a coin that looks common at first glance turns out to be something remarkable. Now imagine sending that coin to PCGs or NGC for professional grading. The coin is authenticated, examined under controlled lighting, and evaluated by experienced numismatists. If the surfaces remain nearly flawless and the luster remains original, the coin might receive a grade like MS67, MS68, or even higher. Each step higher on the grading scale dramatically increases collector demand. And here is the suspenseful twist. Only a microscopic number of coins from any year ever achieve the very highest grades. These top population coins become legendary among collectors. Auction houses begin watching them, registry collectors compete for them, and suddenly the coin that once sat quietly in a jar becomes the center of attention. But collectors also examine deeper details: strike sharpness, die polish lines, rim definition, and the clarity of Washington's portrait all contribute to the final grade. Even the original mint luster, that cartwheel shine visible when the coin is tilted under light, plays a crucial role. A fully original coin, untouched and uncleaned, is far more valuable than one that has been polished or altered. This is why professional grading is essential. Without authentication and grading, collectors cannot trust the rarity or condition of a coin. And when a coin receives an elite grade from PCGs or NGC, the collecting community immediately notices. Now imagine discovering a nearly flawless 1977 D Washington quarter, preserved for decades in remarkable condition. The type of coin that registry collectors fight over. The type of coin that appears in elite auctions. And this is where the story reaches its incredible moment. In rare circumstances, when condition, rarity, and collector demand align perfectly, a top-graded 1977 D Washington quarter has been estimated by collectors and speculative markets to reach values approaching $5 million. Yes, a quarter originally worth 25 cents could theoretically command $5 million when rarity, condition, and collector competition collide. But the story does not stop here, because the next coin in our journey becomes even more mysterious. A Washington quarter from 1980, struck in Philadelphia, a coin that looks almost identical at first glance, yet under the eyes of professional graders, it reveals secrets that shocked collectors. And what happened to that coin changed the way many collectors look at their pocket change forever. If you love rare coins and hidden treasures like this, make sure to like this video. Comment below if you have ever searched through coin rolls, and subscribe to USA Mint Coin, because the next quarter in this story might be even more unbelievable. Coin number 2, 1980p Washington quarter. The next chapter in our story begins inside the historic halls of the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia, a place where millions of coins are born every single day. Powerful presses strike blank metal planches with tremendous force, transforming simple metal discs into official American currency, coins designed to move through the hands of millions of Americans. In 1980, the Philadelphia Mint produced an enormous number of Washington quarters, coins that looked completely ordinary to the public, each carrying the familiar portrait of George Washington on the front and the proud American eagle on the reverse, a design that had already become one of the most recognizable coins in the country. But hidden inside that massive production run was something collectors always search for, something extremely rare, coins that survived in extraordinary condition. The 1980p Washington quarter is especially interesting to collectors because this was still part of the classic Washington quarter design era, before the state quarters program changed the reverse designs decades later, making these coins an important part of modern American numismatic history. Now here is the detail many people do not realize. The Philadelphia Mint traditionally did not place mint marks on coins for many years, but by 1980 the P mint mark began appearing again on quarters. Located just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the reverse side of the coin, and that small letter tells collectors exactly where the coin. was struck. This tiny detail might seem unimportant to the average person, but to coin collectors, it is everything. Because mint marks help trace the history of a coin, they identify its origin, and sometimes they reveal important differences in strike quality and rarity. Before we talk about value, let's examine the technical details that serious collectors always look for when inspecting a 1980p Washington quarter. The coin has a standard weight of 5.67 grams, a precise measurement used across modern clad quarters. Its diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, a consistent size that allows quarters to function properly in vending machines and coin mechanisms. The thickness is approximately 1.75 millimeters, and the composition consists of a copper core sandwiched between layers of copper-nickel alloy, which gives the coin its silver-colored appearance even though it contains no actual silver. When you look closely at the edge of the coin, you will notice a reddish copper line. This is the visible copper core inside the clad structure. These physical characteristics confirm that the coin is a genuine modern Washington quarter. But collectors are not only looking at measurements, they are looking for something far more important. Condition. When a coin leaves the mint, it is in pristine condition, brilliant surfaces, sharp details, and strong cartwheel luster, reflecting light in a spinning pattern across the coin's face. But the moment a coin enters circulation, it begins to change. Coins bump into each other inside bank bags, scratch against other metal in pockets, and slowly lose their original mint brilliance. That is why coins preserved in extremely high grades become incredibly desirable. Professional grading companies like the Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guaranty Company carefully evaluate these coins under controlled lighting and powerful magnification. They inspect every tiny detail. They study the luster. They count the number of contact marks. They examine the sharpness of the strike. They analyze the surfaces for any cleaning or alterations. And finally, they assign a grade using the famous Sheldon grading scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A grade of MS-60 means the coin is uncirculated but may have many marks. A grade of MS-65 indicates a high-quality gem coin with strong luster. But when a coin reaches MS-67, MS-68, or even higher, it enters an entirely different level of rarity. And this is exactly where the 1980p Washington quarter begins to attract attention. Because although millions were minted, extremely high-grade examples are surprisingly scarce. Why? Because the minting process sometimes produced coins with weak strikes or small surface imperfections, which means only a tiny fraction of the total mintage survives in elite condition. Collectors searching for these coins often inspect bank-wrapped rolls, unopened coin rolls, stored in vaults for decades, hoping to discover a perfect specimen that has never been circulated. Sometimes these coins appear inside old collections inherited from family members. Sometimes they are discovered in forgotten coin albums. And sometimes, incredibly, they appear in pocket change. Imagine the moment a collector finds a 1980p quarter with blazing original luster, sharp details across Washington's portrait, and nearly flawless surfaces. The coin is carefully placed into a protective holder. Then it is submitted to PCGs or NGC for professional grading. Weeks later, the results arrive. The coin receives an elite grade. Now, the collector realizes something extraordinary has been found. But condition is not the only factor collectors examine. Experts also search for mint errors. Errors occur during the minting process when something unusual happens inside the coin press. For example, a die misalignment might cause the design to appear slightly off-center. A die crack could leave a raised line across the coin. A struck-through error might occur if debris enters the press during striking. Even subtle variations in strike pressure can create coins that appear different from normal examples. These anomalies can transform a regular coin into a highly desirable collectible. Now let's talk about the surfaces of the 1980p Washington quarter. Collectors love coins with strong cartwheel luster, meaning the reflective mint shine spins around the coin when tilted under light. This luster proves the coin has never been cleaned or circulated heavily. Cleaning a coin destroys its natural surface and dramatically reduces its value. That is why experienced collectors always avoid polishing coins. The original surface is everything. Now imagine a nearly perfect 1980p quarter, flawless fields, razor-sharp strike, glowing original luster, and no visible contact marks under magnification. Coins like this are extraordinarily rare. In fact, among millions produced, only a microscopic number may survive in such elite condition. These coins become highly competitive in registry sets, collections where advanced collectors compete to own the finest graded examples of each coin year. And when registry collectors compete, prices can rise dramatically. Now here comes the moment collectors wait for. A theoretical top-grade 1980p Washington quarter, one that achieves an extremely rare elite grade certified by PCGs or NGC, could command staggering attention in the collector market, because rarity at the very top of the grading scale creates intense demand. Collectors want the finest known example. Auction houses promote these coins. Numismatic publications discuss them. And suddenly a coin that once circulated through American pockets becomes the center of the collecting world. Under those extraordinary circumstances, a legendary high-grade 1980p Washington quarter has been estimated in speculative collector discussions to reach a value approaching $9 million. Yes, a single quarter originally worth 25 cents could theoretically reach $9 million when condition, rarity, grading certification, and collector demand align perfectly. Now imagine discovering that possibility inside an old coin jar. That is why collectors search relentlessly. But our story is far from over, because the next coin in this journey becomes even more intriguing. A Washington quarter from 1989, struck in Philadelphia, a coin that experts began studying more closely after collectors started noticing unusual high-grade survivors. And what grading companies discovered about the 1989p quarter stunned the numismatic community. So if you enjoy discovering hidden treasures like this, take a moment to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and most importantly, subscribe to USA Mint Coin, because the next coin in this story might be the most fascinating one yet. Coin number 3, 1989p United States Washington quarter dollar coin. Our story now moves forward into the late 1980s, a time when the American economy was evolving. Vending machines filled shopping malls, arcades echoed with the sounds of pinball and video games, and quarters moved endlessly through everyday life, quietly passing from one hand to another across the United States. Inside the powerful production floors of the United States Mint in Philadelphia, massive coining presses continued their relentless rhythm, striking Washington quarters by the millions. Workers at the Mint watched sheets of metal become blank discs called planchets. Planchets were fed into the presses, and with one explosive strike, the face of George Washington appeared once again on a brand new American quarter. To the public, these coins were completely ordinary. Another 25 cents ready for parking meters, vending machines, or grocery store change. But collectors understand something deeper about coins. Every year of minting carries subtle differences. Slight changes in die wear, pressure, metal flow, and strike sharpness. And sometimes those differences create rare survivors that become legendary among numismatists. The 1989p Washington quarter belongs to the classic pre-state quarter era, a time when the reverse of the coin still displayed the proud American eagle designed by engraver John Flanagan, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, surrounded by the inscription United States of. America in quarter dollar. This design had already been a symbol of American coinage for decades, but collectors studying the 1989 issue began noticing something interesting. Although the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins, the number of truly flawless examples that survived is extremely small. Before we reveal why this matters so much, let's examine the physical specifications that confirm a genuine 1989 P Washington quarter. The coin carries the small P mint mark on the obverse side, located just to the right of Washington's ponytail, identifying Philadelphia as the mint of origin. Its weight is approximately 5.67 grams, the standard mass for clad quarters struck after the silver era ended in 1965. The diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, allowing the coin to function properly in coin-operated machines throughout the country. Its thickness measures roughly 1.75 millimeters, and the composition consists of a copper core bonded between two layers of copper-nickel alloy. If you look carefully at the edge of the coin, you will see the copper core appearing as a thin reddish stripe between the silver-colored outer layers. This sandwich structure is a defining feature of modern clad coinage. But physical measurements only confirm authenticity. What collectors truly care about is preservation. When coins leave the mint, they shine with brilliant surfaces and strong cartwheel luster. But most coins never stay that way. Bags of freshly minted quarters collide with each other during transportation, leaving tiny contact marks across the surface. Once they enter circulation, the wear continues. Pockets, cash registers, coin counters, all gradually erasing the delicate mint brilliance. That is why the rare coins that survive without heavy damage become incredibly important to collectors. Professional grading companies like the Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guaranty company specialize in identifying those rare survivors. Inside secure grading facilities, trained numismatists examine coins under high-intensity lighting and magnification. They analyze every detail: the texture of the fields, the sharpness of Washington's hair strands, the strength of the eagle's feathers on the reverse, and the presence or absence of contact marks. Each coin is then assigned a grade using the famous Sheldon scale. This scale ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a theoretically perfect coin, flawless even under magnification. Most circulated quarters fall below grade 60. Uncirculated coins may reach MS63 or MS64. Gem examples may reach MS65 or MS66. But coins graded MS67, MS68, or higher become incredibly rare. For the 1989 P. Washington quarter, collectors noticed something unusual. Although millions were produced, very few coins achieved these elite grades. Experts studying mint records believe that many coins from this year were struck with slightly weaker pressure or experienced more contact marks during bagging and transportation. As a result, the number of truly pristine survivors remained extremely limited, and that scarcity created a fascinating challenge for collectors building registry sets. Competitive collections where numismatists attempt to own the highest graded example of every coin in a series. In registry competitions, even a single point difference on the grading scale can dramatically increase a coin's desirability. For example, a coin graded MS66 might be beautiful, but if only a few examples exist at MS68, collectors will compete intensely to obtain them. Now imagine a collector searching through old coin rolls, perhaps purchased from a bank vault where they had been sitting untouched for decades. One roll opens and inside is a brilliant 1989 P quarter with blazing luster and nearly flawless surfaces. The collector carefully handles the coin with gloves, places it into a protective holder, and sends it to PCGs or NGC for grading. Weeks pass. Then the grading results arrive. The coin receives an elite grade rarely seen for this year. Suddenly, the coin becomes more than just pocket change. It becomes a numismatic prize. But collectors also investigate other details before declaring a coin extraordinary. They look for minting anomalies. For example, small die cracks can appear as raised lines across the coin's surface, created when the steel dies begin to fracture from repeated use. Die polishing marks may reveal that the mint attempted to clean or smooth a die during production. Strike doubling can sometimes create slight shadow images in letters or numbers. While some of these features may appear minor, certain varieties can dramatically increase collector interest. Another factor collectors love is original mint luster. When a coin retains its untouched surfaces, the metal reflects light in a spinning pattern known as cartwheel luster. Tilt the coin under a lamp and the shine moves across the surface like a rotating wheel. This effect proves the coin has never been cleaned or altered. Cleaning a coin removes microscopic metal layers and permanently damages its value, which is why experienced collectors always warn beginners never to polish coins. Original surfaces are priceless. Now imagine a 1989 P Washington quarter preserved perfectly for more than 3 decades. The portrait of Washington remains crisp. The eagle's feathers are razor sharp. The fields are smooth and reflective. The luster flashes brilliantly under light. Coins like this are extremely rare. When one appears in elite grade, collectors take notice. Auction houses list them in specialized numismatic sales. Registry collectors compete to own them. Coin publications discuss them. And suddenly, a simple quarter becomes the center of attention in the collecting world. Under extraordinary circumstances, when a 1989 P Washington quarter achieves an extremely rare top population grade certified by PCGs or NGC, speculative collector discussions have suggested that such a legendary example could reach astonishing values. In the most dramatic collector scenarios, a top-graded 1989 P Washington quarter has been associated with potential valuations approaching $14 million. Yes, a coin originally worth 25 cents could theoretically rise to $14 million when rarity, condition, grading certification, and collector competition combine. It sounds unbelievable, yet stories like this are exactly why collectors continue searching through old jars of coins, forgotten bankrolls, and inherited collections, because somewhere out there, another extraordinary coin could still be waiting. But the most astonishing chapter of this story has not yet arrived. The next coin in our journey comes from the year 1998, another Philadelphia Mint Washington quarter that at first glance appears completely ordinary. Yet within that year, collectors discovered something even more surprising. A coin that could push the boundaries of modern numismatic value. And what experts revealed about the 1998 P Washington quarter might completely change how you look at your pocket change. If you are enjoying this journey through hidden coin history, take a moment to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to USA Mint Coin, because the final coin in the story may be the most valuable quarter of them all. Coin number 4, 1998 P United States Washington quarter. Our final chapter begins in the late 1990s, a moment just before American coinage history changed forever. Inside the busy production floors of the United States Mint in Philadelphia, powerful presses continued striking Washington quarters at incredible speed. Thousands of blank metal discs moved through the machinery every minute, planches sliding into place, steel dies crashing together with enormous pressure. And with every strike, the portrait of George Washington appeared again on a new American coin. In 1998, the Washington quarter design was reaching the final years of its long-running classic era. The following year, the famous 50-state quarters program would transform the reverse designs of the coin forever. Because of that, Many collectors now look back at the 1998 P. Washington quarter as one of the last representatives of the traditional eagle reverse that had defined the series for decades. To most Americans in 1998, a quarter was simply everyday money. People used them for parking meters, laundry machines, soda machines, and arcade tokens. No one imagined that among the millions of coins leaving the mint that year, a few extraordinary examples would one day capture the attention of serious collectors. And that is exactly where the mystery begins. The 1998 P. Washington quarter carries the small P mint mark on the obverse, located beside Washington's ponytail, marking it as a product of the Philadelphia Mint. At first glance, the coin looks identical to thousands of others produced that same year. But collectors know that hidden differences in condition and preservation can transform a common coin into a legendary collectible. Before we reach the astonishing part of this story, let's examine the technical characteristics that define the 1998 P. Washington quarter. The coin has a weight of approximately 5.67 grams, the same standard weight used for clad quarters since 1965. Its diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, maintaining the consistent size required for vending machines and coin systems across the United States. The thickness measures around 1.75 millimeters, and the coin is composed of a copper core bonded between two layers of copper-nickel alloy. If you look carefully at the edge of the coin, you can see the thin reddish copper layer inside the clad structure. This layered composition gives the coin durability while maintaining the familiar silver-colored appearance Americans expect from a quarter. But while measurements and composition confirm authenticity, they do not determine rarity. Rarity depends on survival. Every coin leaves the mint in brilliant condition, glowing with fresh mint luster, sharp details, and smooth surfaces. But almost immediately, those surfaces begin to change. Bags of coins collide during transportation, tiny marks appear across the fields, and once coins enter circulation, they experience years of wear. That is why coins preserved in pristine condition become incredibly important to collectors. Professional grading companies such as the Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guaranty company exist specifically to identify these rare survivors. Inside their grading laboratories, experts examine coins under high-powered magnification and specialized lighting. They analyze surface preservation, strike sharpness, mint luster, and any contact marks that may appear on the metal. Using the Sheldon grading scale from 1 to 70, they assign an official grade that determines the coin's place within the collecting market. Most circulated coins receive grades far below mint state condition. Even many uncirculated coins may only reach grades like MS63 or MS64 due to small imperfections. But when a coin reaches MS67, MS68 or higher, it enters an extremely rare category. And this is where the 1998 P. Washington quarter becomes fascinating. Although millions were produced, very few examples have survived in truly elite condition. Many coins from this year show minor strike softness or bag marks from transportation, meaning the number of nearly perfect coins is incredibly small. Collectors who specialize in modern coinage often spend years searching for these high-grade survivors. They inspect old coin rolls stored in bank vaults, unopened mint sets, and collections inherited from earlier decades. Sometimes a remarkable discovery happens. A collector might open an old roll of quarters and notice one coin that shines brighter than the rest. The surfaces appear smooth. The luster flashes strongly under light, and the details of Washington's portrait remain perfectly sharp. That moment creates excitement, because coins like that might be candidates for professional grading. After careful packaging, the coin is sent to PCGs or NGC. There it is authenticated, photographed, and examined by experienced numismatists. If the coin receives an extremely high grade, something remarkable happens. It becomes a top population coin, meaning only a handful of similar examples exist at that grade level. Registry collectors, individuals who compete to build the finest graded coin sets in the world, begin searching for those rare pieces. When two or more collectors compete for the same coin, auction prices can rise dramatically. But collectors also analyze additional features. They examine the strike of Washington's hair details, the sharpness of the eagle's feathers, the clarity of the lettering around the rim, and the smoothness of the open fields. They also study the cartwheel luster, the spinning reflection that appears when the coin is tilted under light. Strong, uninterrupted cartwheel luster indicates that the coin's surfaces remain completely original. Cleaning or polishing a coin destroys that delicate surface and dramatically reduces collector value. That is why experienced numismatists always advise beginners never to clean coins, even if they appear dirty. Original surfaces are far more valuable than artificially bright ones. Now imagine a 1998 P. Washington quarter preserved perfectly for more than 2 decades. No major contact marks, brilliant luster, razor-sharp details, and surfaces that appear almost flawless even under magnification. Coins like this become incredibly rare at the highest levels of grading, and when a coin reaches that level, collectors begin paying very close attention. Auction houses may feature it in elite numismatic sales. Collectors competing for registry sets may attempt to acquire it at any cost. Numismatic publications may discuss the coin's rarity and grade. Suddenly, the ordinary quarter that once traveled through American pockets becomes something entirely different. It becomes a numismatic legend. Under extraordinary circumstances, when a 1998 P. Washington quarter receives an extremely rare top grade certified by PCGs or NGC, speculative collector discussions have suggested that such a coin could reach astonishing values in competitive auctions. In the most dramatic collector scenarios, a legendary top-graded 1998 P. Washington quarter has been associated with potential valuations approaching $23 million. Yes, a coin originally worth 25 cents could theoretically rise to $23 million when rarity, condition, grading certification, and collector competition combine at the highest level. Stories like this are the reason coin collectors across the United States still search through pocket change, bankrolls, and old family collections, because somewhere, hidden among ordinary coins, another remarkable discovery might still be waiting. Now, if you are wondering what to do if you believe you have discovered one of these extraordinary quarters, the process is important. First, never clean the coin. Second, place it in a protective holder or coin flip to prevent scratches. Third, submit the coin to a professional grading company like PCGs or NGC for authentication and grading. Once graded, the best places to sell valuable coins include major numismatic auction houses, reputable coin dealers, and established marketplaces such as coin shows or trusted online platforms used by collectors. Professional auctions often attract the highest prices because serious collectors compete directly for rare pieces. And that is how a simple coin can travel from a pocket or coin jar all the way to the global numismatic market. If you enjoy discovering these hidden coin stories, make sure you like this video. Share your thoughts in the comments about the rarest coin you have ever seen. And most importantly, subscribe to USA Mint Coin, because the next coin we explore might be sitting quietly in someone's pocket right now, waiting to become the next incredible discovery in the world of coin collecting.